Have you ever completed a game and felt a void in your heart? In this video, I'm showcasing 15 games that will leave you emotionally invested and yearning for more once they're over. If you've ever felt lost after an incredible game ends, you won't want to miss this list. Stay until the end to find which games will take you on an unforgettable journey and leave a lasting impact. Alright, so first on our list is What Remains of Edith Finch. This game is truly a gem, which is not surprising why it received an overwhelmingly positive response on Steam. You play as Edith Finch, the last surviving member of the Finch family, returning to your childhood home to uncover the truth behind the tragic fates of your relatives. Each room in the Finch house tells a different story, each with its own unique gameplay mechanics and emotional impact. The attention to detail is astounding, seamlessly blending stunning visuals with poignant storytelling to create an experience that's both haunting and beautiful. The soundtrack is also perfectly tuned to tug at your heartstrings, further enhancing every emotional beat of the narrative. By the time the credits roll, you'll feel deeply connected to the Finch family while experiencing their joys and sorrows as if they were your own. This game doesn't just tell a story, it makes you live it. While it's a short experience, which usually takes around 2 to 3 hours to complete, it's one that stays with you long after you've put down the controller. For anyone looking for a game that combines innovative storytelling with emotional depth, What Remains of Edith Finch is a must-play. Next up, we have Outer Wilds. This game is completely open-ended. Once you get access to the ship after a brief tutorial, you can explore the entire solar system right away. Yet, despite this freedom, the story unfolds naturally, piece by piece, with each new bit of information you uncover. Outer Wilds is a true masterpiece of non-linear storytelling. What makes this game genius is that it doesn't gate your progress with items or upgrades. No keys to unlock doors or specific tools to advance. Instead, it's all about the knowledge you gather. The information you find guides you to new areas, each clue pointing you in the right direction. This method of gating progress purely by understanding is so unique. If you already know everything, you can start a new game and head straight for the ending. But for most of us, the joy is in the discovery. You'll gradually fill in the missing puzzle pieces, with each new discovery making the mysteries clearer. And yet, the game never feels confusing or like you're lost. It's incredible how it manages to reveal the story bit by bit in such an open world. You start to see the connections and the mysteries unravel before you, like pulling on a loose thread. It's a journey of curiosity and enlightenment, each revelation making you eager for the next. Next on the list is Spiritfarer. This cozy platformer game has you running a ship, building gardens, houses, a kitchen, a forge, a lumber mill, and so much more. As you sail through the afterlife, you discover new islands, travel between them for resources and rare chests, and run various errands. The heart of the game lies in its main plotline. You are a Spiritfarer, guiding your ship through the afterlife, finding new spirits, getting to know them, and caring for them until they're ready to pass on. Despite its premise, this game isn't as depressing as some might think. It's about hope and acceptance. The process of letting characters go as they pass on mirrors the journey of life, making the experience profoundly satisfying. There's a larger storyline for Stella, the main character, which beautifully comes full circle by the end. Visually, Spiritfarer is a treat. The colors and design are unbelievably beautiful. While I've come to appreciate the pixelated aesthetics of games like Stardew Valley, Spiritfarer's design stands unmatched from the get-go. The art is so stunning that I wish other developers would learn from the team behind this game. And in terms of gameplay, there's no combat, no fall damage, and no health to worry about. After all, you're already in the afterlife, so dying is impossible. This makes for a relaxing experience where you can focus on building, exploring, and connecting with the spirits aboard your ship. It's a game that's both heartwarming and visually captivating, a must-try for anyone looking for a unique and touching adventure. Next up is System Shock Remake. This game immerses you in a retro future where 2072, like 1994, set on Tri-Optimum's sinister space station, Citadel. The plot kicks off with a Tri-Optimum exec coercing a hacker to disable Citadel's AI, Shodan, who then declares herself a god with plans to destroy humanity. As the hacker, your mission is to thwart Shodan's various schemes, from space lasers to a grotesque virus, and ultimately destroy her. System Shock Remake is a faithful reproduction of the 90s classic, a pioneering first-person shooter. Night Dive Studios has revitalized it with striking visuals and updated gameplay elements. The combat captures the essence of the original, offering a wide array of weapons. Quick weapon swapping with hotkeys enhances gameplay, though enemies remain tough, often barely reacting to attacks until they're down, making guns feel underpowered by modern standards. The game heavily features System Shock's signature backtracking, requiring revisits not just for new areas, but also to manage an intricate inventory system. Midway through, inventory space becomes challenging, echoing the original's inventory Tetris. While these changes don't drastically alter the core experience, the levels often mirror the original, with significant visual improvements. The updated look is stunning and adds fresh appeal. For new players, this remake is an excellent introduction to the series, despite some modern tweaks. Next up on the list is Prey. This game throws you into a thrilling sci-fi adventure set aboard the Talos 1 space station, orbiting the moon in an alternate timeline where President Kennedy survived his assassination attempt. You'll step into the shoes of Morgan Yu, waking up with no memory of your past and finding the station overrun by hostile aliens called Typhon. As you uncover the secrets of Talos 1 and your own past, you'll encounter a variety of weapons, gadgets, and abilities to help you survive and unravel the mysteries lurking within. Prey stands out for its immersive atmosphere, creative level design, and deep narrative. The space station feels like a character itself, which is filled with secrets to uncover and multiple pathways to explore. The game encourages creativity in problem solving to allow you to approach any situations in various ways based on your playstyle. What I love about this game is its way of storytelling because of its well-written characters, moral dilemmas, and thought-provoking themes. The narrative twists and turns keep making the game even more interesting, and the game's multiple endings will give you some good replay value. As for its visuals, Prey can still par with today's standards, which is surprising despite its age. Plus, the sound design further enhances the overall gaming experience. Next up is Ori and the Blind Forest. The story is beautifully crafted with interesting and elegantly designed characters. While it might not be the most advanced or original narrative, it fits the game's style perfectly and is genuinely touching. The game is relatively short, with most people completing it in 8 to 10 hours. You might find yourself spending around 12 hours if you enjoy exploring, fighting creatures, and collecting ability points. In terms of difficulty, it's on the average to hard side compared to many modern games. You have to think and strategize, which is extremely entertaining. You might die a lot, but it never feels frustrating. While some players have trouble locating enemies or projectiles, this shouldn't be a major issue. The combat is fantastic and never feels repetitive, especially with the awesome ability called Bash. The developers were incredibly creative with combat abilities. Visually, the game is a feast for the eyes with stunning details and colors. Some might say it's too saturated at times, but it fits the overall aesthetic. Ori and the Blind Forest offers a good story, great music and art, along with fair but challenging difficulty. If you're a casual player, I think you can finish it in about 10 hours. Next on our list is Nier Automata. This game really starts to shine the more you play and progress. At first, it might feel a bit rough around the edges with its dark atmosphere challenging your preconceived notions about gaming conventions. But it's precisely this raw and unfiltered experience that will draw you in. In Nier Automata, you play as 2B, an android created by the Yorha organization, tasked with battling robotic lifeforms known as the machines that have taken over Earth and pushed humanity to the brink of extinction. The game's storyline is undoubtedly its strongest point. It's not your typical hero defeats the villain narrative. Instead, it dives into complex themes of morality, identity, and the nature of consciousness. As you make your way through the game, you'll start to question your actions, ponder the nature of good and evil, and wrestle with the ambiguity of morality. There are no clear-cut answers or easy solutions. Instead, you'll be left to interpret the story and determine your own path. This layered storytelling is what makes the game so fascinating. It's a game that provokes thought and introspection, pushing you to consider deeper questions about life and existence. The gameplay also evolves, blending various genres seamlessly. It's undoubtedly one of the best games on this list that will give you a compelling story that will stick with you long after you finish it. Up next is Stray. Stray offers a unique and charming experience where you get to play as a stray cat navigating a dystopian city. From the moment you take control, it's clear that Blue 12 Studio nailed the animation and vibe of being a cat. You'll meow, jump, and slink around with some of the most natural animations ever seen in a game. The story unfolds as you journey through the city, uncovering its secrets and helping its robotic inhabitants. The bond you form with your small drone companion, B12, adds a layer of depth to the narrative and creates a touching and immersive experience. The environmental storytelling is top-notch, conveying the history and atmosphere of this futuristic world without overwhelming dialogue. The gameplay is a delightful mix of exploration, puzzle solving, and stealth. As a cat, you can leap across buildings, squeeze through tight spaces, and interact with the environment in ways that feel natural and intuitive. The puzzles are cleverly designed, requiring you to think like a cat to overcome obstacles and progress through the story. Visually, Stray is stunning. The art direction perfectly captures the blend of neon lights and decaying urban structures, creating a visually striking world. The animations are fluid and lifelike, making every movement and action feel genuine. The soundtrack complements the game's mood beautifully, enhancing the sense of mystery and adventure. While everything about Stray is great, I understand that the $30 price tag on Steam might be a bit steep for some. But if money is not an issue for you, then by all means, go for it. However, if you're looking to save some cash, I'd recommend keeping an eye out for good deals online. Next up is Disco Elysium. This combatless CRPG is a narrative-driven gem that avoids traditional gameplay elements like action, tactics, and combat, focusing instead on dialogue, character customization, and skill challenges. In Disco Elysium, you'll assign skill points and face skill checks determined by die rolls combined with your character and equipment bonuses. The gameplay centers around movement mechanics, dialogue trees, and character customization through skill points and equipment, creating a unique and immersive experience. What truly sets Disco Elysium apart is its deep exploration of human psychology and politics, blending genuine humor with heartfelt moments. It's a bittersweet tale of humanity that reflects its roots in the old Soviet Republic, delivering a potent mix of melancholy and hope. The game delves into understanding people, their motivations, thoughts, and the interplay between the world and the individual. It's about how ideas form and evolve, how people are broken yet continue to persevere. The narrative is expressed through extensive, well-written text that is sharp, witty, and thought-provoking. If you enjoy clicking through dialogue trees to uncover the intricacies of people's minds, this game will resonate with you deeply. However, if text-heavy gameplay isn't your style, Disco Elysium might not click for you. But for those who appreciate a richly woven story and character-driven experience, Disco Elysium is an unforgettable game that you need to try. Next up is The Last of Us Part 2. This sequel continues the gripping narrative of the original game, focusing on Ellie as the main playable protagonist. Following the events of Part 1, Ellie's journey in Part 2 is both gripping and emotional as she grapples with the consequences of her actions. If you haven't played Part 1 yet, I highly recommend doing so to fully grasp Ellie's character development, though Joel is the one you control in Part 1. The gameplay mechanics in Part 2 are exceptional, with every action having a significant impact. The combat is intense and visceral, offering players the choice between stealthy approaches or all-out gunfights. The environments are breathtaking, with end sequences that feel straight out of a blockbuster movie. Despite the controversy surrounding its story, I found it to be compelling and thought-provoking. Playing as both Ellie and Abby provides unique perspectives, with each character serving as a mirror image of the other. I understand why some people may dislike certain aspects of the game, but personally, I appreciated the complexity of the narrative and the moral dilemmas it presented. If you've been hesitant to play The Last of Us Part 2 due to its mixed reception, I encourage you to give it a chance and form your own opinion. The plot twists that the game offers are truly exceptional. This is one of the reasons why this game is really popular, despite being a PlayStation exclusive. Next up, we have Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Continuing the legacy of its predecessor, this game boasts breathtaking scenery and an exhilarating main storyline. It builds upon its predecessor's foundation, seamlessly integrating new elements without overwhelming the experience. The central narrative takes players on an emotional journey centered around themes of family, resilience, and self-discovery, all set against the backdrop of the expansive Star Wars universe. Star Wars Jedi Survivor stands out as one of the finest adventure games in recent years, setting a high standard that future Star Wars titles will undoubtedly be compared to. You definitely won't want to pass up the opportunity to experience this game. Up next is Katana Zero. This game is basically you as a super cool samurai with a killer katana, slicing through bad guys left and right. Sounds epic, right? Except there's a twist. You go down in one hit. Enemies love to pepper you with bullets, which makes things super intense. But hey, you're not totally helpless. You can grab stuff like bottles and flick knives to take them out from afar, or toss a smoke bomb to create some chaos. There's even a cool thing where you can stick a bomb on an enemy and then bam, instant fireworks. But you gotta be quick because each level has a timer. Think of it like a deadly dance where you gotta be smart and speedy. The coolest part happens after you clear a room, as you get to see a replay of your awesome moves. Kinda like that game Super Hot. Even wilder is how the story goes. When you talk to people, you gotta listen up fast before picking a reply for our main dude, Zero. Mess up, and you might accidentally blurt something mean. It's like the game rewards you for paying attention, but if you don't care, it's hilarious to see how people react to your impatience. Speaking of story, I can't spoil the awesomeness, but let me just say it's like a mind-blowing mystery. It's full of secret government stuff and crazy lies, and the deeper you go, the wilder it gets. And the best part is that there's a lot left for you to figure out, which keeps things exciting. It might seem confusing for some people, but that's what makes it so much fun. And before we move to the next game, let me share my opinion on the game's graphics. Well, it's totally sick. The pixel art is awesome, and the soundtrack totally sets the mood. Basically, Katana Zero is a wild ride that will have you glued to your screen. Up next, we have Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. I've played through the entire Uncharted series, and Uncharted 4 was the first time I genuinely enjoyed the experience. While the series is known for its stunning set pieces and environments, these should not be the sole reason to play. Previously, the plots felt like mere excuses for the next big spectacle, lacking depth and believability. But Uncharted 4 changes all that. This time, every event feels significant. The deception in the story runs deeper than the title suggests, with top-notch character development, writing, and atmosphere. The environments, though fewer, serve the story brilliantly. They feel authentic and enhance the narrative instead of just being backdrops for action scenes. The visuals are fleshed out and colorful, adding to the immersive experience without relying on the sheer quantity of locations. The gunplay in Uncharted 4 is also a standout. As someone who's played a lot of shooters like Rainbow Six Siege and Battlefield, I found the combat mechanics here much improved. It feels more refined and satisfying than in previous titles. If you're debating whether to play this game or the series, trust me, Uncharted 4 is the best of the bunch. you don't need to be a completionist. Enjoy Uncharted 4 as a standalone. The essential characters are Sully and Drake's wife, with minimal background needed. You'll appreciate the depth and polish of this installment without missing much from the earlier games. Next on the list is Batman Arkham City. Arkham City is an open-world game with a map that's kind of small compared to newer releases, but don't let that fool you. The size actually works in its favor, making it perfect for what the game aims to achieve. Now, it can feel a bit tedious if you're going for 100% completion, but that's a minor gripe. The game picks up a few months after Arkham Asylum, with Hugo Strange convincing Gotham City to section off a rundown part of the city to house all of Arkham's and Blackgate's inmates. You, as Batman, sensed something off, so you decides to investigate. What's cool is the dual protagonist setup. You'll mostly be Batman, but occasionally you'll switch to Catwoman, who's got her own side story. This mix keeps things fresh, especially when Batman is temporarily out of commission. The game spans around 12 hours in universe, giving it a fast-paced, intense feel. Combat is a big step up from Arkham Asylum. You've got your hit counter, special moves, and even a free-flow mode that boosts your damage if you keep your combo going. Plus, gadgets are way more integrated into fights now. Then there are the Predator sections, where stealth is key. Enemies are smarter and more reactive, making these parts really tense. Exploration is another major aspect. There are about 300 Riddler trophies to collect, with most for Batman and a few for Catwoman. While the main story is engaging and feels like a comic book come to life, the side stories add depth but are a bit hidden. The game is fun, challenging, and the traversal mechanics are a blast. If the side quests were more structured and there were fewer Riddler trophies, Arkham City could easily rank among the best superhero games ever. And finally, to complete our list, we have Red Dead Redemption 2. This game is a true work of art. Everything about it is incredibly well crafted and polished that makes other games seem rushed in comparison. The attention to detail is astounding. The world feels real, even making GTA 5's open world look like a school project. The level of immersion here is unmatched by any other game I've played. There's an overwhelming amount of content, all of it engaging and fun. The open world activities are just as captivating as the campaign, which is a huge achievement given how phenomenal the story is. Dan Houser truly outdid himself with this one. The narrative is unforgettable, packed with emotional depth and unforgettable characters like Charles, Reverend Swanson, Dutch, John, Abigail, Karen, and Arthur. They feel like real people after spending so much time with them. The gameplay might not be revolutionary, but during my 150 hours of playtime, I was never bored or dissatisfied. The graphics are simply breathtaking, often looking more realistic than real life. Some minor issues, like sudden changes in time and lighting during cutscenes and a few bugs, can be a bit jarring, and the final part of the game drags slightly. But the story's quality never falters. If you haven't played this game yet, you absolutely must. It's an essential experience for any gamer and worth every penny. And that's it. Have you already had a chance to play any of the games mentioned on this list? If you have a game suggestion that you think will fit on this list because of its great plot and story, please let us know in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. See you in the next video.